not expect me to act royal when I do not feel royal. I should not have to act royal. Everybody has been mean to me all day, and this dress makes me look fat. Gwendolarama, the flood is going to sweep us away. I appeal to your allegiance to the crown. Please save me.
Oh, Your Majesty, you live in a castle, on a hill. Even if it were flooding, the floodwaters could not reach us.
What are you talking about, Gwendolarama? Listen to the torrential downpour.
It's barely raining, Your Majesty.
Oh, it is? Can it be a flash flood if it's barely raining?
No, Your Majesty. That's not how floods work.
Oh, well, okay then. Gwendolarama, do you not hear my plea? I am starving.
You cannot be starving, Your Majesty. You just finished breakfast.
But I can feel my innards, Gwendolarama. They are shriveled. I implore you. Have we run out of food?
No, we have not, Your Majesty.
Will all my father's subjects die of malnourishment?
The kingdom has massive stores of meat and grain, Your Majesty. And here in the castle, the kitchen overflows with vast victuals.
But can we be sure, Gwendolarama?
Your father is a good king. He has promised you time and again he will supply all you have need of. And Princess, he is not a mere man that he would lie.
'Tis true. He is a good father and a righteous king. He does not lie, but Gwendolarama, I beg thee, look. I have run out of food on my snack table.
Because you ate it all, Your Majesty.
I can feel myself wasting away. All my cheeks hollow. What is to become of us if we never eat again? How long can we last without food, Gwendolarama?
Why don't I send for some fruit for Your Majesty?
Yes, thank you, Gwendolarama. Gwendolarama, I fear we are poor. Lament with me, Gwendolarama. Weep with me.
Your Majesty, we are not poor.
We have been made destitute, Gwendolarama.
Your Majesty, you are daughter of a mighty king. He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. All the gold and silver is his. His kingdom is without end. Do you really believe yourself to be a pauper?
But Gwendolarama, look, I contend my purse is empty. We shall be forced into hard labor, Gwendolarama.
Your Majesty!
Sadly, I cannot sow or tend sheep. I shall be forced to find work as a mud farmer.
Your Majesty! Your Majesty, get a hold of yourself. In your father's kingdom, there is provision for everyone. If they live by his laws and obey his rules. Pray tell, do you think mud farming is in your future?
But Gwendolarama, look, no coins. Alas, it is a home for moths. Perhaps we could be moth farmers, Gwendolarama, and sell the little winged corpses as jewelry ornaments for the rich and comfortable.
Your Majesty, you are rich and comfortable.
Oh, were we, Gwendolarama? Once upon a time. It seems so long ago now.
No, Your Majesty. Here, in the now, you have abundant provisions.
Excuse me, good lady. Would you buy my moth 'Twould make a lovely brooch.
Your Majesty! Your Majesty, no one wears moth for jewelry.
No?
Do you?
No, but perhaps the rich.
You are the daughter of the mighty king. Your father is wealthy beyond measure. If you have need of anything, you can ask your father, who supplies all of your need according to his vast riches.
Gwendolarama, do not yell at your princess.
Praise be, you are a princess again, not a mud farmer or a pauper selling moss.
Are you annoyed with me, Gwendolarama?
Oh, Your Majesty, I am exasperated.
At me?
At your tendency to let circumstances widely blown out of proportion, make you forget who you are. It is unbecoming. What if someone else were to see your behavior? They would think you had no faith in your good father.
But I do have faith in the king.
One could not tell by your conversations and actions, Your Majesty. You have a letter, Your Majesty.
Read it to me, Gwendolarama.
FlyByLightMedia is entertainment with a message.
I like entertainment. Is it a troupe of jesters, Gwendolarama?
At times, Your Majesty. They post a video a week giving you content that is inspirational, funny, thought-provoking, and relevant.
What is a video? What does it mean to post? Do they tie it to a post? Is video a horse? Is it a pony?
Please like this video and subscribe to support our channel.
I like Video the pony. Perhaps Father will give him to me. Father, may I have a new pony? He'll transport me to the channel.
Together we are FlyByLightMedia and we rise to shine.
Did you say shine? Is Video shining? He must be a unicorn. Gwendolarama, come quickly.
My princess, whatever is the matter?
Gwendolarama, it is tragic. It is the end of all good things. We have lived too long, Gwendolarama. Would that we had never seen this day.
Your Majesty,
Yes.
what has upset you so? Shall I call the guards? Are you in any danger?
Worse, Gwendolarama, worse. And do not call the guards. They are dull, and the new one did not wink at me as I went past.
Does Your Majesty wish to instruct her personal unit of heavily armed and expertly trained knights of the Royal Legion to wink at her as she passes by?
Yes, but only the cute one.
Very well, Your Majesty.
Oh, no, wait! Come back, Gwendolarama!
What? Your Majesty, I absolutely live to serve you. But I can only deal with one crisis at a time. Allow me to speak to the guard. And now...
No, but Gwendolarama, do you not realize why the guard did not wink at me?
One imagines it was because he values both his job and his life.
No, it is because I am hideous.
You are not hideous this morning, Your Majesty.
It has come upon me all of a sudden, Gwendolarama.
All is lost. Okay. I assure you, Your Majesty, that you look quite yourself as always. Have I ever lied to you? No. And if I may say so, one would expect Estelwyn, Estrelda, Elspeth Her Royal Highness, daughter of the king, princess of the realm, heir to the throne, and keeper of the chalice of virtue, to devote her attention to more important things.
Gwendolarima! Do hurry, Gwendolarima!
Oh, Your Majesty, have we been struck with sudden ugliness again?
Do not be silly, Gwendolarima. I took your scolding to heart, and I went out among the people to find something worthy of the attentions of Estewin Estrilda Elspeth, Her Royal Highness, daughter of the king, princess of the realm, heir to the throne, and keeper of the chalice of virtue.
Oh, and what did we find, Your Majesty?
It is most terrible, Gwendolarima. I have discovered that my good father, our loving king, is not in fact good, nor is he loving.
Bite your tongue, Your Majesty. The king is all loving and most generous. He has no equal in goodness or in compassion.
But Gwendolarima, his compassion does not extend to all.
Oh, Princess, who put these lies in your head?
That matters not.
Oh, it most certainly does, Your Majesty, for these lies come perilously close to treason.
But there is proof.
What proof?
Gwendolarima, do we not live lives free of oppression and fear?
We do, Your Majesty.
Yes, and are we not secure, Gwendolarima, knowing our kingdom is eternal and our king our most steadfast guardian and friend?
Of course, as is everyone in your father's kingdom.
But that's just it, Gwendolarima. Oh, I am the princess to a throne of cruelty. I must retire from society.
Your Majesty,
No, the world shall look upon me no more.
Your Majesty, won't you?
No,
Just tell me.
no.
Estewin Estrilda Elsbeth. Is this the way the princess of the realm, heir to the throne, and keeper of the chalice of virtue behaves?
You are cross with your princess, Gwendolarima.
My princess, you have spoken strong words unfounded against my king. I will have an explanation, a full explanation, in detail. Now, if you please.
Then we must send for the guards, Gwendolarima.
My princess, I have cared for you since you were a babe in my arms. I have loved you as my very own.
Yes, Gwendolarima, and that is why we need the guards. For my story is quite long, and I shall tell it poorly. You will need a chair, Gwendolarima, to rest your weary bones.
I am capable of moving a chair across the room, Your Majesty.
Oh, I do forget you are quite strong for your age, Gwendolarima.
Yes, Your Majesty. Shall I fetch the chair?
If you must, Gwendolarima, but it does seem terribly like work, and I do wish you would send for the guards.
Now that we are comfortable and we've had our snack, will Your Majesty please explain yourself?
Well, I went out among the people, Gwendolarima, as you suggested, and at first it was very dull, and the roads were dusty, and the sunlight made me squint, and things did not always smell most pleasant, Gwendolarima.
Well, where people are hard at work, that is often the case, Your Majesty.
Yes, one cannot help but feel that work should be avoided.
Perhaps that is a lesson for another day. Please go on.
I was about to come home when someone called out to me, and he was tall and on his way to do something with horses.
With horses, Your Majesty?
Yes, he said, "Fair maiden, thou strikest me most familiar. Cometh thou here often?"
Of course he did.
Yes, and I said, "Here, ew, I am Estewin Estrilda Elspeth, Her Royal Highness, daughter of the king, princess of the realm, heir to the throne, and keeper of the chalice of virtue."
I suppose it is too much to hope that he bowed reverently and then took his leave?
That's when he said the thing about the horses.
Horses, you're sure?
Yes, he said he was an actor on his way to rehorse something.
And what did you say, Your Majesty?
I said that I was not in the mood for horses, except, of course, Video, my little pony. But he clasped my hands, clasped it, Gwendolarma, and he said, "Oh, Estherwyn has Strilda Elspeth, Her Royal Highness daughter," and so on and so on. And anyway, one thing led to another, and I agreed to lunch.
Have we reached the part of the story about the king?
Yes. Well, at first we talked about things like my favorite color and why all the palace guards should wear pink. He was very interested.
I'm sure.
And then I said how good and kind father is for buying me Video, my pony. And that is when, Gwendolarma, I learned the dreadful truth.
What did this person tell you, Your Majesty?
Gwendolarma, you must brace yourself. Gwendolarma, did you know that there is suffering in the world?
Yes, everyone knows that, Princess.
But why does the king not do something about it?
He provides most generously for anyone who is part of his
But he does not provide for anyone who is outside. He does not answer their petitions, nor does he send them scrolls on their birthdays. I have learned of my father's heartlessness, and I am undone.
Princess, sit up, sit up. The king cannot take care of those who are not in his kingdom. They do not belong to him. There are laws, Princess, and as a just and righteous ruler, your father is bound by them.
Laws are a silly excuse. If the king wanted to help them, surely he could.
This is what that person told you?
Yes. He was very deep, Gwendolarma.
I suppose he was very handsome as well.
One does not care to listen to ugly people, Gwendolarma.
Your Majesty, a pretty face may hide an ugly heart.
I hid an ugly bird once, Gwendolarma. Do you recall?
It was a bat, Your Majesty.
Foul, ugly bird. That wicked merchant told me it would talk, but it did not. He was a dreadful liar, Gwendolarma. All it did was soil my handkerchief and hang from the ceiling.
Yes, Your Majesty, and your actor is just as wicked.
He soils handkerchiefs and hangs from the ceiling.
No. Well, no. He's not like the bat.
No.
He is more like the merchant. He also has sold you a lie. Your father's kingdom is open to all who wish to enter it. If anyone in bondage cries out for rescue, he sends whole battalions out to their rescue.
But is it not a power play to make them ask for help?
Would it not be tyranny to exert his will where his will is not welcome?
Smaller words, please, Gwendolarma. My head is light from lack of tea. You are saying my father is good and kind and loving.
Yes, Princess, as you well know.
But what about those poor lost souls? What about the bad things that happen out there where my father's rule is not known?
Anyone who wishes may escape their poverty and their torment at any time. There is a gate for just that purpose. All who enter through it become instantly citizens of the kingdom, protected and provided for.
'Tis an exceeding narrow gate.
'Tis a gate wide open.
On my way back to the castle, Gwendolarma, I passed a group of children at play. They were singing a song about the gate.
Your father's subjects have many songs about the gate, Your Majesty.
They were exceeding happy and grateful.
As we all are who have entered through that narrow way and found salvation.
It is good of my father to make a way for people to come to his kingdom.
Very good.
And it is kind of him to rescue all those who call for help.
Very kind.
It is loving to forgive all their past mistakes and let them begin anew here under his righteous reign.
Yes, indeed, my princess.
Gwendolarma, I am wroth.
Yes, it is past the hour, isn't it? Shall I ring for tea?
This is not about tea, Gwendolarma. But yes, I am wroth, Gwendolarma, at that horrid liar, that treacherous fool, that actor who has tried to poison my mind against the king.
Indignation is appropriate, even praiseworthy, Your Majesty. But we...
Tonight, Gwendolarma, you and I shall cloak ourselves in black. We shall arm ourselves. We shall go to the theater. And then when we see that person, we shall fiercely boo him and pelt his big stupid head with fruits and vegetables nearing over ripeness.
Your Majesty, is it not best to let the king recompense his subjects' ill deeds?
Not tonight, Gwendolarma. Tonight, we ride.
I am here, Your Majesty.
Oh, if I could only remember the poem, Gwendolarma. Something, something treasure, something, something crown.
Princess, can we...
Ooh, look, holly bushes. I shall gather some for the hearth. Ouch. Oh. I shall send a guardsman back for some later, Gwendolarma.
Oh, Your Highness, we are wandering aimlessly in search of a legend you only half remember. Might we return to the castle?
How does that poem go? Ooh, do I espy a cottage beyond the trees? I see a little door and a chimney and... Oh, piffle. It was not a cottage, Gwendolarma. It was a stump.
My princess, tell me, how could a stump resemble...
Gwendolarma! Behold there, at a distance, half veiled by the snow. It is a lamppost, Gwendolarma.
I feel sure it is not a lamppost, Your Highness. As I was saying, your good father, our king...
Oh, it's coming closer. A walking lamppost.
Princess, lampposts do not walk. You know what? Your father, he does not need more treasures, no. Why not make the king another scarf like you did last year?
Gwendolarma, my knitting has not improved. In truth, it has gotten worse, and it was not very good to begin with. Oh, 'tis something better than a lamppost, Gwendolarma. It is a man. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Hail thee! Well met.
Good morrow, sir. I am Estewin Istriel de Elspeth, Her Royal Highness, daughter of the king, princess of the realm, heir to the throne, and keeper of the chalice of virtue. This is my faithful friend and servant, Gwendolarma. Put down your stick, Gwendolarma.
Truly, I know thee on sight, my princess. I am Quintinius Mundric, son of Leofric.
Oh, I greet thee, Quintinius Mundric, son of Leofric, in the name of the king. It is Quintinius Mundric, son of Leofric, Gwendolarma. Say something nice.
If you are not a knave, or a scoundrel, or a thief, or even a bandit, I greet thee. However, if you are, then I shall flatten you with my stick.
Gwendolarma, is that any way to speak to Quintinius Mundric, son of Leofric?
Your Highness, we do not even know this person.
Our elders are oft weary of strangers. It does not bother me. Pray, what brings you to the deep forest? Where is your royal guard?
Oh, I left them at home.
Though they are likely following close behind us on the king's orders.
Nonsense. Gwendolarma, she's being silly. They would not dare. If they do not do as I say, I hold my breath until I faint. That scares them.
Indeed, your highness.
However, if we do not return within the hour, I am sure An armed garrison will doubtless come searching for us.
You are being silly, Gwendolarama. She is being silly. Our adventure will likely take long into the night, and they will not search for us until next noontide at least.
Princess? What? We do not know this person.
Speak truth, Quintinius Mundvik, son of Leofric. Hast thou heard of a lost treasure in these woods?
I know of a legend, my princess. But surely you have heard of the stories, good woman, being one of the townspeople?
No, I have served in the king's castle since I first entered his majesty's kingdom by the narrow gate.
Yes, Gwendolarama came into the king's service before I was born. Father made her my nursemaid, and we had been together ever since.
Yes, the years have flown by, your majesty. This is true. But good sir, if in fact you are good, perhaps you will make yourself useful and show us the way.
Yes, to the treasure! Oh yes, grand idea, Gwendolarama! And when I give it to Father at our Yuletide celebration, I shall tell him what a great help you have been, and he will be most pleased.
Princess, your words confuse me.
Get used to it.
You're searching for the famed treasure of the deep forest to give as a gift to your father, the king?
Yes, as a surprise. And now you see why those nosy guardsmen had to stay home. They will make their reports, won't they? And then my surprise would have been spoiled.
That is, if the treasure exists and if we can find it, your majesty.
Gwendolarama is made grouchy by the cold, Quintinius. Do not mind her. You know the legend. You are one of the earthly common folk.
Princess, what did I tell you about calling people common?
And as such, you will doubtless know these woods quite well.
Like the back of my hand, your majesty.
It is destiny. You shall be our guide.
But Princess, he strikes me as quite shifty, and his sudden appearance is all too convenient.
'Twould be my greatest honor, my princess. May I carry your stick for you, madame?
No, thank you. But perhaps I'll give it to you later.
For many years, the townsfolk have spoken of the deep forest as a place where treasure dwelt.
Ooh, did you hear that, Gwendolarama?
No, my princess, I only hear my teeth chattering.
Silly.
There is a rhyme that tells of it. It goes, "Lost was the treasure more precious than gold, the prize of a lifetime in darkness and cold, the jewel of a kingdom fit for a crown. To make it his own, a king will kneel down."
Why, that's it! That's the very poem I learned as a girl. You see, Gwendolarama, it is a clue. Let us think what it could mean.
Where did you learn of that rhyme, son of Leofric, if that is your name?
I cannot say. I'm sure it was spoken of in the village. Of course, as you spend most of your time in the castle, you wouldn't know what is spoken of in the town.
Convenient.
If only you got out more. Though I suppose when I'm your age.
I have it! I have discerned our first clue. Where would one go in the deep forest that is both dark and cold?
Everywhere is cold, my princess. And soon, everything will be dark as well.
No, Gwendolarama. That is not how clues to treasures work. It must be a place that is always dark and always cold, year-round, or it isn't fair. That's right, isn't it, Quintinius?
That is certainly my understanding of how clues to treasures work, my princess.
You see? There is only one place that I know of that is both dark and cold year-round, and that is a cave.
Princess? Why princess? Miss Wynne. For a truth, that is quite clever of you.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Gwendolarama. Now, Quintinius, you shall lead us to the nearest cave that we may continue our quest.
Truthfully, my princess, I know of only one cave in the whole of the deep forest.
Then we shall find the treasure and be home in time for supper. The sooner the better, for we missed tea time and Gwendolarama did not stop me from feeding my midday snack to a passing fox.
We have been walking for hours. I thought you knew these woods like the back of your hand.
I do, but as you can see, I'm clearly wearing gloves.
That's it. I'm telling you. That's
Gwendolarma! Gwendolarma, I see it. Do you see it? Is that the cave, Quintinius?
Of course! Just as I remembered. The opening is quite small and low to the ground.
Oh dear, it is quite small. One would have to get on one's knees to have any hope of entering in.
Its treasure must be priceless indeed, my princess.
my princess.
Most certainly. But why?
The rhyme tells us, to make it his own, a king will kneel down. For a king to humble himself thusly, to kneel in the dirt and the muck, such as we see before us, well, the prize must be valued beyond measure.
You are very wise, Quintinius. Isn't he wise, Gwendolarma? Why, you are so very wise, you should be a knight.
My mother used to say the same thing, Your Highness,
About kings kneeling?
about me being made a knight.
Oh. The poem does not say anything about princesses kneeling. I do not care for dirt.
No, do not look at me, Your Highness. This is your quest.
Well, I do not understand. Is it another clue?
Now.
Where is the treasure?
No, Princess. Don't carry on. There was always a chance we would not find what we sought
Well, it
after.
was dark and cold, Gwendolarma, just as the poem said, but there was only this. Was I wrong about the clue?
Say the rhyme for us again, princess. As you learned it from your father.
Lost was the treasure, more precious than gold, the prize of a lifetime in darkness and cold. The jewel of a kingdom fit for a crown. To make it his own, a king will kneel down.
Do you remember anything else?
I recall candlelight, jewel fit for a crown, father holding me to make it his own, kneeling to tuck me in, a king will kneel. Gwendolarma, could it be?
All the kingdom knows the story, Your Majesty. You are the treasure that dwelt in the deep forest. The king found you here as an infant. He rescued you and called you his own.
That does sound just like my father, does it not, Gwendolarma?
Indeed, my princess.
Did you know, Gwendolarma, that I was not born in the castle, that he saved me and brought me in?
Yes, I knew, Princess, I knew, but I did not know of the rhyme.
Well, why did father not tell me?
He did tell you. Every night.
But this means I am not a princess. I am common.
We talked about that word, Your Majesty.
I am not your majesty, Gwendolarma. I am a nobody from a muddy cave.
Estewan Estrilda Elsbeth. You are what your father calls you.
But
No! If our good and gracious king calls you his greatest prize and the jewel of his kingdom, that is what you are.
But Gwendolarma, it's not the same.
What is better? To be something by chance or to be chosen?
To be chosen, I suppose. To be chosen to be Her Royal Highness, daughter of the king, princess of the realm.
I too was chosen by the king. I am what he calls me. And by calling me, he makes me what I am.
Is there a legend about you too?
They don't write legends about mere knights, Your Majesty.
Oh, he is a knight, Gwendolarma. Did you hear?
I heard. Now I suppose we'll never be rid of him.
Oh, it is wonderful. But Gwendolarma, whatever shall I give the king for Yuletide? I cannot knit a scarf.
Well, I've been giving that much thought, Your Princess. And perhaps the best gift would be a poem of your own about your good and gracious father. He is, after all, the only person who enjoys the sound of your voice more than you do.
Yes, and I am ever so much better at words than at needlework, Gwendolama. A delightful idea. You are my treasure. Come, Quintinius. On our way to the castle, you shall explain how you just happened to meet us in time to aid me on my quest.
I would rather not explain, Princess Esthelwyn, and remain dark and mysterious.
Isn't he clever, Gwendolama?
You know what? Carry on, my princess. I'll catch up with you in a moment. I might still have some use for this.
Quintinius Mundrickson of Leofric, you startled me.
I beg your forgiveness, my princess. I did not expect to find anyone in this forgotten chamber. Pray tell, what brings you to this out-of-the-way corner of your father's castle?
My
And
own
what are these?
business brings me here, Quintinius, and these are my own personal possession. And just because you are a knight, and just because I asked my good father to make you the leader of my personal guard, it does not give you license to be a busybody.
I only ask, my princess, because these curious etchings remind me of a certain work of a wise man in your father's kingdom.
Oh, truly, Quintinius. Oh, how exciting. You know, perhaps it was he who created them at the first because, you know, I know precious little about them except... Oh, here comes Gwendolarma. Quickly, Quintinius. Hide the cards and keep my secret, I entreat thee.
I am ever at your service, my princess.
I'll tell you what, Princess Esthelwyn. I am told you were looking for me?
Why, Gwendolarma. There you are. Pray tell, who told you that I sought thee that I may thank him?
Well, it was your father's baker who told me. He said he heard you calling for me in the corridors. Oh, but in truth, I did not believe him at first. Ever before, when you called for me, the whole kingdom could hear you call for me.
Yes, well, perhaps I am not in full voice today, Gwendolarma. Truly, I am sorry that you came all this way to find me, for we have further still to walk, as I wish you to braid some flowers in my hair.
It is hardly the season for flowers, Your Majesty.
Some leaves, then. We shall make a laurel of ivy.
How very fetching, my princess.
Yes. So you must hurry now and retrieve my favorite silver comb, and I shall meet you in the garden. Quickly, Gwendolarma, for we must be done in time for supper.
Okay, very well, Your Majesty, very well.
Thank you, Gwendolarma. Quickly, Quintinius, give me the cards. And tell me where this strange old man may be found. I shall plan an adventure. Tonight, when darkness has fallen, I shall make a pilgrimage to his door.
As captain of your royal guard, my princess, I cannot allow you to venture forth alone.
We shall argue the details later, Quintinius. Tell me quickly where he makes his abode.
I have only seen him at the tavern, my princess.
Then to the tavern I shall go. botheration. I am lost.
If a man were going to slake his thirst, where might he go in this fine village?
To the tavern, good stranger. It is a mere 3 doors down on your left.
Your other left.
Who is it that seeks refuge from the night?
It is I, Estewin Estrilda Elsbeth, Her Royal Highness, daughter of the king, princess of the realm, heir to the throne, and keeper of the chalice of virtue.
Your Majesty. To what do I owe the great honor of your presence? The innkeeper has retired for the night, but I can wake him if you seek refreshment.
No. I just seek a wise old man to teach me the ways of this curious art. I am in need of guidance.
Oh, your Majesty, I am flattered beyond words that a member of the royal family should possess my humble etchings.
Then they are yours. Oh, goody. Do tell me then. Do they truly let one communicate with the angels of heaven?
Indeed, your Majesty. When I think of the pleasant chats I've had with Gabriel and Michael and Beelzebub.
Ooh, and how exciting.
You wish to use these drawings to communicate with the spirits, Your Majesty?
No, with angels.
Angels are spirits.
Not the way you are saying it, Quintinius. Spirits, as if they are some sort of unclean thing. And I thought we agreed you were not to speak to me. Now you have spoiled my adventure.
If I may interject, Her Royal Majesty is quite correct.
See.
Angels are a very special class of otherworldly beings. They are very fond of communicating with us mortals. Why, just the fact that this, of all my drawings, is the one you chose, I can tell the angels are trying to speak to us even now.
How delightful. Quickly, Quintinius, bring a table that the good man may read my cards.
No.
Quintinius, it is traditional to read the cards at a table. It would be a small thing for you, and 'twould spare us the walk.
These tables are massive. They weigh a ton.
But they are so far away, Quintinius.
You have journeyed 2 miles this night from your chamber door to this tavern, and you pale at the thought of 8 more steps?
Gwendolarima would do it for me.
Then Gwendolarima must have the back of a plow horse.
This is a strange conversation. I can read the cards standing, Your Majesty.
Very well, then. Shall I hand them to you one at a time?
Princess.
Shush, Quintinius. The angels are going to give me guidance.
My princess is the captain of your royal guard. I really must protest.
Captain of the guard? What evil has been brought upon me this night? Do not strike me down with your sword, please. I beg of you, spare my life.
Quintinius, put away your sword.
What sword?
I will save you, my princess!
Give me that.
Do not beat me with your club.
Quintinius, you are a brute. Cast aside your club and cease your merciless assault.
What?
Never fear, my princess, never fear. I am here to protect you.
Not me, Gwendolarima. I am not in danger.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Then what is going on here?
This kind old man was about to teach me
Teach you what, my princess?
the,
If you cannot tell me, my princess, then this must not be an admirable pursuit.
But it is, Gwendolarima. It is admirable, but perhaps you would not understand. Quintinius agrees with me, don't you, Quintinius? It is not that I am ashamed of my pursuit, Gwendolarma. It is just that thou art, from time to time, a little stuffy.
Stuffy?
Oh, wait a minute. I know that cackle. You.
Who? Me?
Yes, you. Forever trying to get into the village to lead silly women astray with your lies. No. Son of Leofric, if you are a true knight, then you will arrest the soothsayer and throw him into the king's dungeon before the night is further spent.
Soothsayer, oh no, you are mistaken, Gwendolarma. She is mistaken, Quintinius Mundrick, son of Leofric. He speaks with angels. He is not an occultist.
You know the king's laws.
I most certainly do. Why didn't your little angel friends warn you about this, huh?
But it is not fair, Gwendolarma.
Do not leave until I return. Do not defy me, woman. We do not entrust the princess's safety to a stick.
Oh, stick. The princess' safety indeed. Where was he when you nearly defiled the king's sacred law? Standing idly by.
You are so very narrow-minded, Gwendolarma.
I know you do not mean that, your majesty. Do you not trust my counsel?
But I might have had the counsel of angels, Gwendolarma.
You do not need the counsel of angels, my princess. And furthermore, they do not give counsel, not in this manner.
Are you sure?
Quite sure, your majesty. Pray tell, why did you wish to speak to the spirit world?
I was wondering what is the will of the king, my good father, concerning Video, my pony.
Then just go to your father and ask him.
Do not be cross with your princess, Gwendolarma.
Princess Estowin, you can speak to the king anytime, day or night. He is always attentive to you. Why, he delights in the sound of your voice. Why, in supposingly seeking his will, would you break his law?
But I did not know I was breaking this law, Gwendolarma.
Oh, if that were true, you would not have hidden your actions from me. Dabbling in the dark corners, sneaking out at night. That would not have happened.
The knave has been strongly dealt with and is on his way to the king's prison awaiting trial.
Quintinius, Gwendolarma is yelling at me.
My princess, I await your command outside, whenever you ladies are finished.
Oh, boo. You might as well resume scolding, Gwendolarma.
Your Majesty, you have behaved foolishly. You must repent to your father for your error. You have read the Holy Scriptures. If a heavenly angel is sent with a message, it is not delivered by drawing on cards, or by strange writings, or crystals, or by any other occult means.
Well, 'tis true that in the Holy Scripture angels do not communicate in these ways, but 'tis a different age in which we live, Gwendolarma.
Yes, but the holy writings remain the same, as does the God who wrote them, as do the laws of your father's kingdom.
It was only a bit of fun, Gwendolarma.
It was deadly dangerous, your Majesty. And in your heart, you know this. In trying to speak to angels, you would have heard from demons.
Do not say such things, Gwendolarma. Here, in the small hours of the night when darkness holds sway.
My princess, how did I raise such a flighty child?
Father says with great patience, Gwendolarma.
Oh, yes. Well, we're going to go speak to your good father right now. Come, your Majesty.
Yes, Gwendolarma.
We are going to go speak with the king. All of us.
When we're with the king, I would appreciate, my princess, if more emphasis could be put on the swift cunning with which I dealt with that knave, than on the fact that I am responsible for you meeting him to begin with.
Do not fret, Quintinius Mundrix, son of Leofric. My father is very forgiving, but I should not like to still be in possession of these when we enter his presence.
Princess!
Coming, Gwendolarma!
The most important heads of states will be there. Verily, more than half have already arrived. So we must all be on our best behavior. I have much work to do to complete preparations according to the king's wishes. And you will help me most by understanding my absence and conducting yourself graciously and admirably as I have struggled these many years to teach you. Do you understand, my princess?
Yes, Gwendolarma.
Truly?
Gwendolarma, look. When I do this, I can hear the ocean.
Just please remember your duties as a daughter of the king.
Yes, Gwendolarma. Thank you, Gwendolarma. Bye, Gwendolarma.
Hail thee, Gwendolarma. Well met.
I have no time for thy nonsense, son of Leofric. The castle is full and overflowing with the king's guests, and yet the grand hall is still in a total disarray.
Gwenny. I mean, Gwendolarma. Take a breath. You are more than equal to the task, or the king would not have entrusted it to you.
Why, thank you, Quintinius. That is very kind. Yet in the meanwhile, however, you will be our first line of defense.
Between the princess and danger.
Would that it were that simple.
Gwendolarma! Gwendolarma! Gwendolarma!
My princess.
Quintinius Mundrix, son of Leofric, thou art not Gwendolarma. Where is Gwendolarma? I have been calling her all morning.
Yes, your highness. I heard you. I shouldn't wonder if our entire regiment patrolling the Northwest Mountain Passage heard you.
Quintinius, do you insult your princess?
No, your majesty. I congratulate you on achieving your goal. One who bellows all morning aims to be heard by all.
You forget your place, sir. I am Princess Estewina Strilda Elsbeth, Her Royal Highness, daughter of the king, princess of the realm, heir to the throne, and keeper of the chalice of virtue. And princesses do not bellow. Furthermore...
Captain, I heard shouting. Is all well?
Yes, Lieutenant. Remain at your post.
Furthermore, princesses are not to be ignored. Where is Gwendolarma?
Princess, do not be selfish. You know full well Gwendolarma cannot abandon her duty every time your whims demand.
It is not a whim, Quintinius. It is an important matter of state.
Is it?
It is. I was trying to determine what dress to wear.
That is not a matter of state.
It most assuredly is, Quintinius. I will be welcoming dignitaries from the farthest reaches of my father's kingdom. I must look my best. Here is where you should say I always look my best, Quintinius.
Your Majesty, when she left, Gwendolarma was most concerned that you act your best, then look it.
Gwendolarma abandons me and confides in a guardsman? Cruel fate! What have I done to deserve such sorrow?
A guardsman? That does it. Come with me.
I cannot, I am weeping.
I have strict instructions, Your Highness, and if you resist, I will throw you over my shoulder like a sack of potatoes.
I think this is all right. Quintinius, why have you brought me here? 'Tis a dull, out-of-the-way place, far from the guest chambers and the dining hall.
Yes, Your Highness. We will not be disturbed or overheard here. I can practice my footwork for the tournament this week's end, and you can bellow to your heart's content.
You are being quite forward today, Quintinius. I must say I do not care for this side of you. Is this what Gwendolarma has put up with? For verily I must... Gwendolarma!
Hello, my princess. Hello. Having difficulty?
It's the lung power more than anything. I was concerned for your guests' nerves.
The king's guest. The king's guest.
But it's you that will hear the complaints, isn't it?
Gwendolarma, Quintinius has been a dreadful bully all day. He's kept me from you this entire morning, and I will need my hair plaited for tonight's banquet. And I need you to help me choose my gown. And I do think we're overdue for a snack, Gwendolarma. Oh, and I want to introduce my little pony Video to the Duke and Duchess.
Princess.
Yes, Gwendolarma.
I told you I shall be busy on the king's business until the banquet.
Yes, but I want to...
There is nothing that you need that your lady-in-waiting or one of the pages cannot attend to.
But I wanted to...
No. Princess, I could not love you more if you were my own flesh and blood. But if you do not quiet down and let me finish my tasks for the king unhindered, I will take you upon my knee, as I did when you were but a lass.
Yes, Gwendolarma.
And I expect you to be on your best behavior, representing your father's kingdom with grace, as you have been taught, and not behaving like a selfish, ill-tempered gutter snipe.
Gwendolarma does not love me.
But she just told you that she loves you like her own daughter. I heard her.
Not mean it.
Perhaps a walk in your private garden will calm you down.
But my garden is this way, Quintinius.
We're going by the way of the apothecary. My head is pounding like a blacksmith's hammer.
Isn't that curious, Quintinius? Gwendolarma so often has the same complaint. Gwendolarma!
Please, princess, for the love of your good father, can't you weep silently? Your Majesty?
Quintinius, is that you?
Your lady-in-waiting says that you refuse to get ready for the banquet?
I have retired from society. I shall never be seen again, henceforth and forevermore. Lock the door behind you, Quintinius. This is the last time you shall look upon my person. Farewell, noble knight.
I shan't do that, princess.
Oh, fine. I suppose you may be on the list of people allowed to see me in exile. Hand me that scroll over there, Quintinius, and the quill.
No.
Oh, boo! Everyone is saying no to me today, and I do not care for it.
Princess, do you want to embarrass your father? Do you want to cast his honorable kingdom in a foul light? Do you want his goodness to be evil spoken of?
Quintinius, if this is going to be a long lecture, do get a chair. My neck is growing tired.
Okay, let us pretend that you wanted to take a ride on horseback through the village and the countryside. You were waiting at the stables.
Oh, goody. I should ride Video, my little pony.
It's going to be a long ride. You'll need a full-sized horse. Better take the gelding.
Well, then Video would trot alongside. He hates to be left behind, and if he gets tired, you can carry him.
I am not carrying that creature home on my back again. Not after last time.
Well, why not? If he were big enough, Video would carry you.
I have forgotten my point. Oh, yes. Okay, imagine that I arrive at the stable and my tunic is soiled, and I am unwashed and unshaven, and I smell of the tannery.
Ew.
The horse I ride is a lazy creature with a sway back and dull eyes who couldn't outrun a disinterested mule.
Oh, how embarrassing. I would send you away immediately and get that nice lieutenant of yours to escort me instead. He sits up so very straight in the saddle.
Why?
Well, one assumes he is trying to appear taller.
No, Princess. I mean, why would you send me away?
Oh, well, 'twould be an embarrassment to have one of the royal guards seen in such a condition. 'Twould reflect poorly on me and on my good father.
Yes, Your Highness. Just as your behavior reflects on the king and his kingdom.
That was among the first lessons I learned as a child, Quintinius.
And yet you have forgotten it.
Forgotten what?
You have behaved as a selfish, demanding, petulant child all day, loudly, in front of the entire castle, in the eyes of all that have heard you and have harmed your father's reputation. You must make amends.
Oh dear, do you think perhaps that is what Gwendolama was trying to tell me earlier? She could be so unclear sometimes.
Trust me, it was. Now, what are you going to do about it?
Send for my maids, Quintinius. There is little time to waste. The banquet begins at twilight and I must look my best.
But you always look your best, Your Majesty.
Well said, Quintinius, but fetch them in anyway. Oh, Gwendolaruma! There you are. 'Tis a glorious party. You did powerfully well. Father is most pleased.
And I am pleased with you, Your Majesty. You are every bit the princess I raised you to be, and a credit to your father's kingdom.
Oh, thank you, Gwendolama. One does what one can.
Ephesians 4:1 reminds us to lead a life worthy of the divine calling to which we have been called as God's representatives here on earth.
At FlyByLightMedia, we choose freedom over comfort and truth over popularity. We hope you will too.
Please check out our merchandise through the link in the description and watch some more of our videos over there. Together,
We are FlyByLightMedia, and we rise to shine.